The evil that was enacted on October 7th is undeniable to me, and I don't apologize for opposition to that. Straightforward. When I wrote my piece in the New York Times about anti-Semitism, deeply entrenched in this culture, I believe that. At the same time, we can't talk about a world in which we can't at least acknowledge that the over-response of Israel, that many progressive Jews and others have said is wrong and problematic.
During these tumultuous times, especially after October 7, 2023, many have used their grand stage to view their personal opinions. And many talk show hosts, many radio hosts and television hosts have abused their pulpit for their own personal agenda. However, Bill Maher has not held back what his feelings are towards Israel and the Jewish people. Please watch together with one of those discussions with Bill Maher as he sets the record straight. Let's watch it together and discuss it afterwards. Kindly subscribe to our channel so a little bit of light will push away a lot of darkness.
Do you think Hamas needs to be eradicated?
Look, Hamas, I don't believe in any terrorist organization, period, bottom, end of story. But I don't equate Palestinians with Hamas any more than I would.
But they're fighting Hamas. Do you believe that Hamas should be eliminated?
Well, but they're not fighting. They're not killing Hamas. They're killing.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I'm saying they're not only killing Hamas.
Of course.
They're killing a lot more people besides. So
what war did we ever have where they were only killing the soldiers? None.
Well,
never happened. Never will happen.
All I'm saying, Bill, is that if you're going to have moral outrage, as you should, the evil that was enacted on October 7th is undeniable to me, and I don't apologize for opposition to that. Straightforward, right? When I wrote my piece in the New York Times about anti-Semitism, deeply entrenched in this culture, I believe that. At the same time, we can't talk about a world in which we can't at least acknowledge that the over-response of Israel, that many progressive Jews and others have said is wrong and problematic, has to be called out. That's what I'm talking about, understanding.
I disagree with the premise. Either you believe Hamas has got to be wiped out. This is a group that, again, has attacked Israel 5 times. Israel gave back that land in 2005. Since then, they took a lot of money from the world that was for charity and for their own people. They stole it. They used it to build tunnels and import bombs and attack Israel 5 times, including that horrible one on October 7th. Okay, their charter says, we'd like to wipe these people off the face of the earth. They proclaim over and over again that they are going to do it. Does that group have to be wiped out? And if it does, then the idea that you know better than the Israeli Defense Force how to accomplish that,
it's not that I know better, but evils to be eradicated. I want them both to be removed. And I don't justify assaults upon Jews any more than I justify assaults upon Palestinians.
But it's a fake argument, because if you think Hamas has to be eliminated, then sometimes people are going to die. And you can't put a number on it, because we don't do that with any other war.
Bill, I don't believe the justification of that occurs, and I stand tooth and nail against anti-Semitism and the evils visited upon Israel and Jewish people, and we have to hold them accountable. Look, if you oppose Idi Amin, you're not anti-black because you're calling him into question. Now, we know a Jewish state is different. We know Zionism is different. But no, I'm just saying to you, if we can't have it both ways, it used to be that the argument was to Ralph Ellison and other figures who were black, James Baldwin, you're mistaking Israel with Jews. Now we're talking about the collapse of that. We must protect to the nth degree the ability of people to live freely from terror and destroy that terror. The terror is operating in multiple forms.
Very simple solution. Stop attacking Israel.
A very simple solution. What Bill Maher just said is actually what Golda Meir, the former Prime Minister, Golda Meir, said, that if the Arabs were to put down their arms, there would be peace. If Israel puts down their arms, there would be bloodshed. On October 7, 2023, Hamas decided to attack a sovereign country, not just to attack the army, to attack civilians, when they breached the borders and they raped, killed, mutilated, beheaded, burnt, and tortured indiscriminately young children, beautiful babies in front of the eyes of the parents, tortured parents in the front of the eyes of their children, kill them. What they did at the music festival to hundreds of young peace seekers, beautiful, beautiful people had a whole life ahead of them, to be taken hostage and to be murdered and butchered. And for the world to say, gosh, Israel, hold back, disproportionate. Really? What other country in the world would have tolerated such an assault? As they put the numbers, yes, there were 1,200. In comparison to America, that would have been like 40,000. Imagine if, God forbid, 40,000 Americans were to have been killed on October 7th. How much restraint would America have, or be asked to have? And why the world seems to have such a double standard. When Syria kills 300,000 of its own people, no one says a word. When just the other week, Syrians killed 1,200 Druze, did it make it to the headlines? When a church in the Congo was just, a Christian church was just attacked, and a mass shooting and a mass killing, did it make it to the headlines? But yet, when Israel is defending itself, and like Bill Maher said, this is war. In war, there's going to be collateral damage. What doesn't make any sense to anyone is, why doesn't the Gazans leave Gaza? Just like the Ukrainians left Ukraine when the war broke out. Go to a country who will take you in, who will protect you during the war. Once the war is over, you can choose to go back. But yet, what did Egypt do? Egypt built a huge wall, bigger than the wall around China, and does not let any of their fellow Muslim brothers and sisters come into Egypt. Here there's war going on. Save them from the battlefield. There's no other war in the world that its citizens are unable to leave, need to be there. That's because of the Hamas narrative was they want to show the suffering of the Gazans and pin it on the Jewish people. So let's be on the right side of the history and stop listening to the fake news. Be a truth seeker and support Israel so it can finally win the war of light against darkness. God bless you. God loves you.